I think so. RG's been groomed here. He knows the system. He has his dad that he has to look up to for. So I don't think RG's coming and I don't see his swag taking him out of sync. I think he would come here and be in sync. And you know that I know RG's dad. I watched him growing up. He was my age, or I think a couple years older, and he is an animal. And his son, he's got it in him too. And I think coming home would sometimes I know what you're saying. They get in a comfort zone because they're home. But I think in this case, a Canadian guy who's always in, you know what I mean, America, he would have that little extra piece. Let's try it. You know what I mean? We haven't had it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Hello, Raptor fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Raptors in Black and White. He is Head Swag. I am Slang666, and we are here on Tuesday, December the 20th, 2022. Talking Raptors. It has not been a great week for the Raptors. I was fortunate enough to go to the game on Sunday, which is why our video is a little bit messed up on when we're getting it out there. So we apologize. We will try to get it out every Sunday. I was pleasantly surprised that I actually got some messages from some of our subscribers, Mr. Head Swag, that they were asking, where the heck is the video? They said, you guys are supposed to be putting some stuff out Sundays. And so I had to tell them, just chill. It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. That's good. That's good.
Yes. So anyway, not a great week, though, in Raptorland. We are 2-9 in the last 11. And as you pointed out before we jumped on here, the Raptors are shooting an abysmal 28.4% from three in the last 14 games. Not very good. I don't know, what are your immediate comments before we jump into maybe some things we think can help?
Yeah. The Raptors are definitely in a cold spell. This is something that they gotta shrug off. I don't know what they gotta do with. We've been saying it for weeks now, and I don't know what's on them, what the omen, but it's gotta break. They gotta off. It's getting back to where it's 2 in the last 14 games. Not healthy at all. Like I don't want to be in those change rooms taking that cold shower right now with these guys. You know, like geez.
Yeah, I worry about that too. Well, I probably wouldn't get wet because they'd be blocking the shower water from.
Telling you.
And actually being there Sunday kind of reminds you of that. You know, when you're watching him on TV, I think Fred VanVleet is just a little midget, and the rest of them are like normal height. But yeah, I don't know if our seats were right near where they do the broadcast. So Kate and Kia and Leo Routens were, sitting right behind me. So anyway, at halftime when we went out, Leo Routens, we walked past him, and man, that guy, like, he's a giant.
He's a giant. That's right.
Actually, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. He was talking to some girls, so he gave me a little look like, yeah, I know you recognize me, and I would say what's up, but don't cramp my style here. I'm talking to these ladies.
That's right.
He said that all with his eyes in like a split second. Actually, it was hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's not going well. So we are down to 10th place, which I mean,
like that. You see that? Just like that.
Brutal. I mean, there were like 2-3 games separating us from third, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And,
that's right.
And yeah, now we're like, are we even in the play-in? If you're 10th, I guess that gets you in the play-in, right?
It gets you in the play-in. I think so. Yeah.
10 or 7, 8, 9, 10 do the play-in or something. I don't know. I know last year was the first year, so I'm not completely.
Yeah, me too. I'm not too. I think they are in the play-in. I think it is the top 10 in the play-in. That's right.
It seems to be the way they have it broken out in chunks when I was looking on ESPN. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. What do you think? What do we do? I was watching a bunch of buzz that people are interested in getting OG Anunoby. I guess Zach Lowe has been reporting that most NBA teams would love to, grab OG Anunoby. But I don't know. My thinking is, like, why would we trade him then, though? If everybody wants him, he's obviously a valuable commodity. I was looking at his ages today. I mean, he's 25 still. Like, that is ridiculous. It seems like this guy's been on the Raptors for ages.
I know.
Years, yeah. I mean, I
Right.
know he had weirdly that appendicitis or whatever during our championship run, so he didn't get any playoff experience there. But yeah, he's only 25, and he's a future potential Kawhi as far as his defense, and it's looking like he's turning around his offense. So, sorry. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we need to make a trade? Would you trade OG first of all? Let's deal with that.
Well, what would we get for OG is what is the factor. What would we want to come for OG? OG is a man of his own. He's been filling in the space. He's been playing phenomenal defense right now. And with his offense, like I've been saying for weeks, when OG's on, it seems like the Raptors games comes easier for everybody. Van Fleet could dish the ball. Other guys could shoot the ball. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I think we keep this kid and he's part of the core group. You do not let this guy go, especially at the age what you just said he's at, 25. He's a youngster. He's got some time ahead of him. Okay. And he's got some playoff experience and he's got a ring. So he's got a mix of all the things that you're looking for. Something as a veteran, you know what I mean? Still has the young legs. And he's on an upscale right now on everything. He's scoring more. He's playing better defense. He's in his own. I don't say we get rid of him.
Yeah, I think he was leading the league in steals, like a 2.4 a game average or something like that, which is great. One of the trades that I heard asking who we would get for him, and this is what I mean. Obviously, I'm a Toronto guy. You're a Toronto guy. I heard the Knicks are talking a package similar to what maybe they were going to try to get. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? The guy from Utah Jazz that went to Cleveland.
Oh, hell yeah, Spider-Man. Yes, yes.
Brutal.
Yeah, Mitchell.
Mitchell, jeez Louise,
Yes.
freezing
Yeah,
up on the podcast. How embarrassing.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
Donovan Mitchell. They were talking about that type of a trade package, and I heard them throwing RJ Barrett around with a pick or two, for OG. And then I start to think, like, is a Toronto guy going to play better in Toronto? I don't know. Like, it's funny at the game Sunday, you got Wiggins sitting on the bench, and they did even a little Team Canada promo for him, and then had the camera on him, and he was kind of like not even wanting to, acknowledge, because I think I don't know if they were setting him up, like, they're trying to embarrass him, going, Wiggins, you better come and play for Team Canada again. Don't bail on us.
Don't bail out. You got it.
Yeah,
We need your legs.
right, like you have in the past. So, I mean, yeah, would you be willing to do a trade with the Knicks for a Toronto guy like RG Barrett or RJ Barrett?
I think so. RG's been groomed here. He knows the system. He has his dad that he has to look up to for. So I don't think RG's coming and I don't see his swag taking him out of sync. I think he would come here and be in sync. And you know that I know RG's dad. I watched him growing up. He was my age, or I think a couple years older, and he is an animal. And his son, he's got it in him too. And I think coming home would sometimes I know what you're saying. They get in a comfort zone because they're home. But I think in this case, a Canadian guy who's always in, you know what I mean, America, he would have that little extra piece. Let's try it. You know what I mean? We haven't had it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would be nice to see. Like, I love supporting, my Etobicoke brethren, Delano Banton, but
Banton, yes, sir.
but he's not at that level. Like, what I really would love to see us trade for is like a Shea Gillis Alexander.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh
then
yeah.
I mean, unfortunately they would, since they're rebuilding, they probably would want picks, and picks. They wouldn't take, which I mean might be good for us actually, because if we could add a Shea Gillis to our current lineup, that would be ridiculous. Then I wouldn't feel bad with Gary Trent coming off the bench if Shea is going to be our shooting guard.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't know if anyone's young enough for them to want from us. I mean, maybe they would want a Scotty Barnes. Um,
Yeah, something like that, or whatever. Our next two first round picks, something like that. Throw them some money. We got some options, you know. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
I'd like to see something like that, because then anyway, it might be worth it. I mean, I don't want to blow up. I'd hate to trade OG and then have him turn into Kawhi, or any kind of even top 15.
but if you look at the Raptors' history with the players that we get, they all go somewhere and shine and get a ring. That's just how it goes. So if he left, he would become something, because he's like I said, he's, if you're looking at OG on a stock chart, he's on the rise. You know what I mean? So definitely he would go somewhere. But that's what I'm saying. Toronto, we've had him. He's been part of the elite. He's been there to the championships. He's got experience, the young legs, and he's on the rise. Why are we getting rid of him? Make him part of the core, build around him. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, and I mean, listen, I'm hoping that narrative for Toronto is over with our championship, and I don't know, I don't think T-Mac ever got a ring.
T-Mac. Well, there's a couple guys that never got a ring that were here, definitely. Yeah, T-Mac didn't get a ring.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if Vince got a ring either.
And Vince didn't get a ring either. No. Vince didn't get a ring either.
Bosch did, and as we've already discussed, I'm not Bosch makes me crazy, just because his reasons for leaving were like they don't have ESPN, and it's like, come on, dude. Anyway.
I know.
Get a satellite hookup. You can have ESPN, and anyway, now we've got all that stuff. I've got ESPN on my TV. Okay, so then if you wouldn't trade OG, is there anyone on the Raptors that you would trade to try and turn this slide around?
Back to Van Vliet. I'm sorry. I know he's a general. I know he could put in work, but once again, I need consistency. You know what I mean? And on top of it, and I want some good defense. I noticed when there's guys like you said, if he's supposed to offend against Shea, I think Shea's gonna have his way. I could call out a couple people, and I've seen Van Vliet just whack the ball and say, "Hey, it's me." You know what I mean? We need defenders. We need those. When it comes to a strong, hard playoff game or a good marquee matchup, we're gonna need those 2-for-1s. You know what I mean? Where that ball gets stolen, kick back, an one down the lane, or into the deep corner and get that three. Sometimes that broken play that they do, it just kills me because I'm like, if you guys just move your legs a little bit more, shuffle a little bit more, if you guys, but yeah, I think Van Vliet would be one of my picks, definitely.
Yeah, no.
What about you?
Well said. No, I agree. I love Van Vliet. I mean, I love his attitude. I love everything. When he was coming off the bench, he was maybe in a better role for us because he could just come in or play off the ball and be a 3-point sniper when we needed him, in the final minutes or whatever. I mean, obviously, the guy got a Finals MVP vote, because he went crazy after he had his kid and was hitting threes like a madman in 2019. But yeah, these days I see him get stuffed, and it makes me sad.
That's right.
Yeah, and
I see a lot of forced plays with him. That's another thing lately. A lot of forced play. I'm like, you could have gave that up and got it back, and he's that. And mind you, like you said in the past, those things were going in like water for him. But now it's, you know what I mean? Like the team, it's like it's in a slump. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
But no, I agree with you. The forced plays where it looks like he's looking for a foul first rather than trying to get a bucket, which makes me crazy.
That's right.
And then in the Philly game, he was 2 for 11 from three. I think it was 2 for 11. I hope I'm not wrong. It might have been 4 for 11, but I think it was 2 for 11. Which all of those chances that he's taking, and especially if they're just a quick pull-up three where they didn't even try and set up and run a play. Those are opportunities that he's taken the ball out of his teammates' hands. And I don't know if that's snowballing into the rest of the missing, but you're not getting touches, then your shot's gonna get colder as you're going down the floor because in your mind, and
the confidence is gonna get less and less. And
I know you mean. It to me, and him, and I know him and Pascal are buddies, and they end up in 2-man games way too often where they're just like, he's looking to Siakam right away, which makes sense. I mean, I know the offense runs through Siakam. He got 38 against Philly, like he's playing great. But he'll then, just give it back to Van Vliet, and then they're just trying to run a pick off each other, and you start to be like, why is Gary Trent Jr. just standing over in the corner like doing nothing? Like he hasn't even moved. He hasn't even moved or anything. And I think watching Golden State in person, that's our biggest weakness. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, they drive me crazy. Like, I'm not a Draymond fan. I don't know. I think there should have been more repercussions even for him punching Poole when that video came out. But regardless of that, it's out there. I know it's worse. If he's on your team, I'd probably love him. But he's doing a fancy behind his back pass to drop, but they're moving the ball like crazy out there.
Do you see that ball movement? So once again, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking that with the Raptors. When our season starts, we're moving the ball like that, and then afterward, it's like we're doing like, no, I'm too pretty to move. Like you just said, Gary Trent is sitting in the corner. Why are you sitting there? Cut and come back.
Mhm.
Do some movement. So hey, if you cut, you might get the 2 points. Then next time, hey, let's open you up for because the guy's doing it. Is he gonna cut? Or is he still waiting for the shot? Look, when you're sitting there waiting for the shot 2, 3, 4 times, this guy's like, yeah, the log is just gonna go to that corner and sit there so I can play off of that. Which is now
Exactly.
making the guy who needs to drive have a harder time. Dude, if you're out there, you want your time, do your assignment. I know you got millions. I know you believe you're a star. I know you believe you could get paid, but hey, you're out there anyway. You might as well just play. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Bring the heat. They're better than what they are. 2-11 in the last 12, 13. Come on.
No,
Wake up, Raptors.
yeah,
Jeez.
yeah, no, I really believe that they can be third. And so, okay, quickly, because you're making me think of some my other solution here. But so we'll come back to the Gary Trent in the corner because I'm not sure it's always his decision. There might be a higher up sort of telling him that that's what he should be doing. But
That's what he should. That's true.
totally agree that the result is yeah, they're not going to space the floor. I see it because Siakam wants to go in with his spinny side to side, but if every time they know that that's the play that's going to run, it's so easy for them to just pack the paint and somebody's got their arm somewhere, and Pascal
You
his
got it.
handle's
So
getting better.
I'm a coach, so if I see that, I'm gonna say, hey, make it tight to make it difficult for him. And then when he kicks, hey guys, just run out and get on your guy. And if he shoots, because that's a low percentage shot, a 3-point shot. Obviously, a high percentage shot is the closer to the net. So if he shoots, hey, I'm hoping that hey, box out, we get a quick rebound. And like I said, we get those 2-on-1s 2 or 3 times in a game. Hey, before we know it, we're up 8 points. Before we know it, we're up 16 points by the third quarter. You know what I mean? Now I got my strings going in. But Raptors, they gotta wake up. They gotta wake up. You got stars. I wanted to actually talk about all stars. Do we have an all star that's on our team right now? But I don't even want to mention that
Yeah,
right
right.
now.
We might have to save that for next week or the week after.
We
Um,
got that, yeah.
yeah, I don't know if we'll maybe do like a Christmas Day or Christmas the day after Christmas extravaganza because I don't know Christmas does it fall on is it Sunday this year?
Yeah, Sunday here.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're anyway. We'll see about that. But yes, even Scotty Barnes coming down. It's not talking about high percentage shots. Scotty Barnes, watching him in person, seems like he can get that bucket where he kind of backs the guy in, uses
Yep,
his size, and then he just
yep.
turns and does a little 3 foot, 4 foot, dump it in.
Dump it in.
Those are awesome, but he's sort of like Pascal 2, 3 years ago lately when he's coming in kind of a little bit out of control, or he seems to like to want to show his handle and I don't know what just deke the guy or break his ankles or whatever so he can go around him. But then he's almost rushed too quick to the basket and he can't finish. Like I was looking at his shooting percentage the other day, and it was like in the low 40s from the field, not even from three,
It,
where I'm like, this guy's
it,
a paint player. Like he should at least be around 50, if not a little bit better, because he's just doing little lay-ins that, you know.
that's it. That's it. And he's so big, it should be even not even a lane. It should be a damn dunk if you ask me how big he is. But that's another story. But yes, a big man like that should have a high percentage because they have, like you said, that high percentage shot. They're closer to that rim. So yeah, if we're looking like you want to look against the greats, James Worthy, those kind of guys, they were shooting 70, 75, 80% from the field because the basket's right there. That's what they're working with. You know what I mean? But the young bucks now, like I said, they want the low percentage shot because hey, it looks good. And that I won't even lie to you. That's what the NBA has got them all leaning off of you. They'll have the ball right inside, and you've seen how many times they'll kick the ball right out for a three instead. I'm like, you could have just got 2 points, and you rather try and so, but that's the new NBA.
Right. So yeah, okay. So one last little trade thing, and then we'll move on to the other thing. I heard one. They're saying Zach LaVine isn't happy in Chicago, and another one. I mean, I was looking up players' names or players' ages today, trying to figure out what would make sense in a trade. And Zach LaVine
Trade.
also surprisingly is only 25, which I thought he was a little bit older than that. I thought he was like at least 26, 27.
Yeah, no.
And so, what do you think of Fred Van Vliet is from Rockford, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. So
Yeah.
we package up Fred Van Vliet and Gary Trent Jr. for Zach LaVine. Um, I saw somebody was suggesting throwing in a couple of other guys. I think one of them was maybe one of their younger prospects. I should have written down the names that I was reading, but I can't remember.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe even we could throw in a couple of other things like I don't know if a Boucher has value or like a Precious Achua maybe and a Boucher, and then try and maybe pry DeMar back as well because weirdly we seem to be missing scoring, and as long as we didn't have to give up an OG and Pascal and like a Coloco, maybe our defense might. And even if we could maybe keep like an Otto Porter Jr. 3 and D guy, we could still have some defense. And our starting lineup could be Scotty Barnes at point guard, Zach Levine as our two guard,
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan as our small forward, OG Anunoby as our power forward, and Pascal playing at the 5, and then we have Coloco coming off the bench, or who knows. There seem to be some Pirtle conversation in the background too. We could have Jakob Pirtle come off the bench and relieve his buddy Pascal. I don't know. What do you think about something like that?
Oh yeah, I think something that you made me do a you made my eyebrows go up. I was like, that sounds pretty dangerous right there. Seriously, Levine and the a mature DeRozan that I see scoring now that looks more comfortable in his place. I would definitely love that here right now. I think that's actually what we need. I think that sounds very good. Other than knowing that the Greek Freak is supposed to come here sometime soon, I don't know when, but
Right.
he's supposed to be here. I don't know when's his contract up next year.
I think he just so I think he's got like 3 more years because he signed while his last year was still ending. So I think that
Right.
like this year and 2, I believe.
In 2 years. Okay.
I
In
should
2 years.
I'll check that too. And anyway,
And he should be, by the time that's up, he should be about 26, then 27, maybe even 28, somewhere around there anyway. But still, young enough legs, young enough legs. He's a big man, and bigs do last longer in the land of the big. So
right.
yeah,
Yeah, just checking Giannis's age. Oh no, he's 28 already. It says
he's
here.
20. Oh, he's
Yeah,
been around that long already, eh? Time
yeah,
flies, huh? Jeez.
I know. But still, I would take him. I on I don't know if you watch the Fox show with Nick Wright and Chris Broussard, and oh my god, I'm so embarrassed that I don't remember the other guy because he's the funniest guy on the show. He just did a 55 player pyramid and had Giannis at the top.
Okay.
Current best player in the NBA. So
In the NBA.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe we should grab that maybe and comment on that for next week. So one last thing before we wrap it up is that I wanted to ask you because we're talking about Gary Trent sitting in the corner. Do you
Mhm.
think that if we don't make a trade, could coaching be part of the problem? I know we've already touched on it on a podcast before. That I say I could have likely coached the 2019 team to a championship. Of course, I'm being a little bit facetious, but you know, um, we had that much talent. Like when you look at how many people we even lost from that team, we lost Kawhi for nothing. We lost Danny Green for nothing. We lost Serge Ibaka for
For that.
nothing. We
Yeah.
lost Marcus Hall for nothing.
For
And
nothing. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
still, had to have some semblance of talent here. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's ridiculous how stacked that team was. Is it? I mean, first of all, do you think they would ever replace Nurse, or at least how bad does it need to get for Nurse to be replaced? And do you think that getting a replacement for Nurse could solve it?
I think where we're standing right now is starting to show the colors right now. Like you said, we're basically 2-15. Like another 5 more games, Nurse. Like I think he's going to be start making records for negative results right now. You know what I mean? So like pull up the socks. I'm pretty sure they're all in the change room talking the same thing we're talking right now. Because nobody pays for losses. You're not going out every day and planning every day to come home with an L, especially teams like what we were just playing, Orlando, back to back.
Yeah, right.
Like
No, that was embarrassing. I mean, I even don't think Philly is good enough, but at least okay, you can understand if a few of their guys like Maxi and
but we're okay. But no, let's talk. Let's
getting
actually
hot.
talk about that. Like Philly, they were up and they made Philly in the last quarter come back. Like once again, had their foot on the gas pedal and eased it off. Finish the team off. Come on, Raps.
Okay, well so that's actually funny enough. What made me think of writing down should it be Nurse because in the Philly game, sadly I didn't get to watch it. I had to go to a Christmas dinner thing with a buyer to, my day job, so that we could fund this podcast and keep it going until we get enough subscribers. So hey, take a second and like and subscribe the video, please, if you will. It'll help us get the channel out there. But so yeah, I had to watch the highlights. But in the fourth quarter, I see we're up by 6 or so. But he's got Chris Boucher, Thaddeus Young. These guys are both on the floor, and like, I don't know, is that the right mix? Like, do we need a Boucher on the floor in the last minutes of the game? I mean, I suppose he's thinking they have a lead, so they're trying to get some defensive guys out there, but I don't know.
And yes, once again, these are guys that have been around and know the system and stuff. But like you're saying, is that who do you close with? Right? If you're questioning that, I would definitely, one of the two I would sub out definitely and have somebody in, you know what I mean? Even a Barnes or something, you know what I mean? Just to make sure. But anyway, yeah, that's been an issue from time, and now it's, like I said, it's really starting to show. And these next 5 games coming up, crucial, because if they end up being 3-19, like, you know exactly what everybody's going to be harping. It doesn't come. It starts at the top. That's what when I coach, that's what they used to tell me. It starts from the top. You know what I mean?
So you think we should get rid of Masai? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, they were in the news this week. They were pointing him out. They were saying, "Hey, he's been through this routes again, and why are we back here if he's already been through all this?" He's been saying, "Let him do his thing and let him bring in his pieces," and we've let him do his thing. And what are the results? So yes. Does it come from the top? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I don't know.
And but
I pumped Bobby Marks out before. I mean, I would try a Nurse situation probably first before, but yeah, the thing I just don't want to see is, as we've already said, I would hate to have them blow it up and then, I mean, who we're going to get rid of. So like Fred VanVleet going off and being crazy, that would bother me less than OG blowing up, or even if we got rid of Pascal because like we caved and somebody wanted him really bad enough that we got enough picks or something, or some young potential star. I mean, unless we're getting like a real Shea Gillis type of player,
you got it.
Then yeah, I wouldn't even want to give up a Pascal because he has progressed each year, and I do think he's going to hit his peak when he's like 30, 31, and really be able to help lead a team. But we just got to get some creative options, some shooters that could just hit consistently. That's all we need. Like
you got it.
Yeah.
But hey, Trent looks like the guy. But once again, I don't think Trent is fully happy because he's been verbal. He's told people what he's wanted, and they ain't give. So we know how that cookie crumbles there, right? So. But he's proven that he could be consistent. But guys usually sometime when they get the money, they go to sleep. But he's been proven. It's been a proven thing, So
I agree. I would be riding Gary Trent Jr. because again, in my looking up ages today, he's 23. Gary Trent Jr. is only 23.
Wow.
Is, yeah.
These guys are babies.
I know.
The team's young. The team is young still.
That's crazy.
The team is young.
I remember when I was 23. Oh, if only I could time travel back. But
I'm telling you, me and you both.
Exactly. I know. Well, it's funny when you're saying you're the same age as RJ Barrett's father. I'm like, oh my God, doing the math. But yeah, that's true. Because all these names on the back of the jerseys I see as juniors, I'm like, I remember watching his dad play when
that's right.
when I was young, going to games. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. Do you have any other comments? Those were all the sort of topics that I had for this week's episode. Anything you want to crowbar in and before we go?
Pretty much
Sorry,
touch
I'm putting
base.
you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot. I should send you some notes or something when I'm about to wrap.
That's okay. But I'll finish off by saying, hey, hopefully we'll get I think we have some home games coming up, so hopefully we'll get a home game victory. This last game that they almost pulled off was a away game. That would have been a very good one going into a home game. So I think we do have a couple of home games coming up. So let's see. We are strong at home, and we know our Raptors get fired up when they're inside that Raptor nest. So let's hope for the best.
All right, yeah, same. And I hope, they don't seem to like losing. So, hopefully they're traveling or They all got together today at the OBO Center or whatever. I think we're playing the Knicks tomorrow, so I'll go out on a limb and guarantee a win against the Knicks tomorrow. Although I don't know what I'm going to have to do if they don't win. I don't think like doing the podcast shirtless or any kind of punishment like that would be good for us, for viewers. We'd probably lose the 10 subscribers that we've got. So I don't know. We could think of something that we'll do on a guaranteed win night if they don't.
On guaranteed win night. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, hey, thanks, man. Thanks for your time. Nice talking to you, obviously. And
Most definitely. Most definitely.
see you Sunday. Except it is Christmas, so who knows? It might be a Monday, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Peeps, we'll see how it goes. We might do a Christmas cheers. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully we do. Too bad well, anyway, we're not even in the same place. I was gonna say we get some mistletoe or something, but anyway, just kidding. All right. Anyways, thank you guys. Please, subscribe, hit the like, or just even comment. Give us some constructive feedback on, what topics you'd like to hear about, or any format changes, or any, things that you think would make the channel better. We really appreciate the support, and share it with a friend or two. And okay. Thank you, Head Swag.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas.